Yo, guys, welcome back to this week's episode of the JBK podcast. We have a full team here today. To my left, we do have the beautiful but stinky K Mac, and then to my right, we do have the Pringle can Joshua Arts. But we are we have a full team. But yeah, we want to give a massive shout out to our sponsor this week's episode and all the previous episodes of the podcast. We do have TNT Records, we do have Transform Physique Gym, we have Northwest Plumbing and Heating, and we do also have, last but not least, Lakeside Fire and Security. And we want to give a massive shout out to the Knights for hosting the podcast. Very sort of last minute, wasn't it?
Yeah, should have been organised yesterday, but someone didn't.
Sure.
Oh yeah, shit me.
But yeah, for those of you that are listening on Spotify, you can hear the intro music. For those of you on Facebook, I don't think you can. I can't remember which way it works, and we never.
Facebook can.
Yeah, Facebook can't, can they? But yeah, massive shout out to all you guys listening on all across platforms. If you haven't subscribed, follow it, like it, make sure you do all that.
Oh, yours is working.
Yeah, it's just yours, mate. Anyway, so once again, guys, massive shout out to all you guys that have joined in and come back to the podcast. We are doing it obviously on a Sunday today due to, at the time, Josh and Kian not being able to actually make the Monday episode. So we decided to change it just so we can give you another episode for those of you that are interested and do watch it. But if those of you that are interested that are watching, make sure you like and share the podcast, get it out there to as many people as possible. We are looking to try and hit 1,000 followers on the page. That's the sort of big next goal for us, isn't it?
Yeah, then you can all send us stars.
Right, sweet.
We've got to beat Ben's gaming page.
Oh, I hope you do. I hope we do. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so this week's topic is.
Hold on, before we start off on the first week's topic,
Go on.
congratulations, mate.
I know, mate. Finally had sex. All right, all right. No, you meant. All right, you meant. Yeah, so
Happy debt free.
yeah, mate. So this week's sort of episode, obviously we all spoke, didn't we, and sort of came up with the idea of, well, me and you spoke. Kia was busy, so me and you, were speaking, and obviously we wanted to sort of bring up, debt and the impact it can have on your life and the choices that you make 10 years before you don't sometimes realize with money and stuff like that. I think we've roughly touched on this in a previous episode where it was a long time ago. So yeah, I mean, as from the weekend just gone, I've just finally paid off my loan. Oh, if only there was a way. We should be. We're gonna have to sort that out, aren't we? And start putting. Try it. No.
That one, I think. We really need a label these.
I know Spotify. Those of you that can hear that, yeah, we just clicked about 6 different buttons on the roadcast there. Whee!
Hey, it's meant to be that one.
Yeah,
Where's the fairy dust?
yeah, exactly. We need it, buddy, sprinkling down.
Left it at home.
But yeah, this weekend just gone up, made my last payment on my loan. So 10 years done, paid. Oh God, it was a relief. I'm telling you now, I was sat there and work crying like a fucking baby. But I wouldn't change it.
I thought you were by the the reply I got back on Snapchat.
Oh, it was a bad.
Oh, I've only ever seen you cry once, and that was last week after I left your house after dropping something
Yeah.
off.
Yeah,
I left because you wanted to. You said, "Can you leave so I can cry?"
yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it was that. It was an emotional day, mate. It's just wait. So everything else that we'd received off everybody is in presents for the boy that is due in 2.5 weeks. So I'm hoping that I don't get a call live on the podcast saying,
I
Ben,
hope you do because the podcast will be cancelled and I'm going with you.
it's like, Ben, time to go to the hospital. Oh,
I'll hold your hand.
sweet. But yeah, all the stuff that we'd received.
Something else.
Oh, mate, what? Yes, I mean, I'll be very excited. But yeah, one of the one of the presents that we'd got, well, obviously, you'd got him like a sort of like a machine, like an automatic bouncer sort of carrier.
What about the
holder.
baby swing?
Baby swing, that's it. Yeah, so put what you would have paid off your loan into a savings account now, and you're used to pay it down. So now you'd be nice to get it. Yes. Cheers, Kaylee. So shout out to you for coming back, Kaylee. Like I say, thank you for coming back and putting a comment in. This is what we want. So we'll quickly go over to Facebook. Jordan Molyneux put morning, ladies. You're not my dad. Stop saying what he would say.
I'm surprised he's awake.
I know I am as well. Going.
No. I was having a conversation with Moll personally the other night, and he was talking to me about his sleeping troubles. Like he's up all night editing videos. Goes on about his eyes. He's got panda eyes.
Yeah.
So I've helped him sort of try right, log off at like 10 o'clock, get to sleep for 11. You know, it's still a bit late,
But you
but
can
get
still,
used to
you can
it.
still get a decent
Get
amount of hours in.
get a decent amount of hours in. I said you're gonna have to start making time for your health
You have to prioritize it, yeah.
because your health reflects in your videos. If people start watching your videos and you've got like you look dead ill because you're not sleeping, people are gonna stop watching it as well. So they work hand in hand. You need to be healthy. So he's working on. He's been getting up at like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, but he's been going to sleep earlier to try and make up the hours, try and get a decent 6 to 8 hours.
Sweet. I mean, if he was going to bed at 12 anyway and getting up at 7 or 8, he's still doing 8 hours
Yeah,
in
I
it, so
think,
it's a good stretch,
I
isn't
think
it?
I need to listen to that, to be fair.
The thing is, you do. Oh, I know, I've got a bone to pick with you, by the way. But I can't actually believe. Wow. But yeah, just quickly, Kaylee, we'll put what you would have picked. Yeah, so what we're planning on doing is the money that obviously we do have, we've sort of not replaced, spent it, but we've both got cars now. So the money that we were paying on the loan is sort of half of it have gone towards cars. So it it's there and it isn't like we're still miles better off. It's not bad debt. We're putting it into equity. So it's like the car will hopefully be, at the end of the term of it's paid, it will be mine. So then I can obviously sell it for whatever I want. Then that money's mine. Do you know what I mean? Or
And the other half's going to the baby.
well, yeah. So we've decided obviously when he's born because I'd originally set a separate one up just without even being a baby account, just another account that I'd originally set up at a business, but I've now just made it into like a personal account. And turns out that you can't actually make an account with his name on until you have a birth certificate. So his account, my granddad's going to put money into every month. My dad's putting money into every month, and then I think we're going to as well. So I think it's going to be like £300 a month in from all of us until
Gonna
he's like
be
21.
minted.
No, he's born by the time he's 16.
It's not even that. It's just you want to give your kids everything that's
Head start because it means
imagine in 20 years,
he
mate.
can buy it won't even just be a house deposit. He'll be able to put a big chunk down, and then he's got one less worry in life that everyone mostly does.
Well, I didn't have that sort of, I've had help along the way, but not when we had a house. Like I say, I took voluntary redundancy to buy my house because I knew I was going to walk straight into another job because I'd already had it lined up. So I took a big pay packet to buy the house. And then during it, there's been times where I've been unemployed and my missus has had to cover it or et cetera, et cetera. So it is technically freed up, but it also isn't because we're putting it into other stuff. But it's just not bad debt anymore. So even if we do pay into a car or whatever, you're paying to pay it off. So you'll then eventually have equity in the car, same as a house. So it's not bad debt. But yeah, definitely. And plus, you need a car with a baby on the way. Yeah, that was a prime thing for us, Kaylee. Like I say, we both sort of wanted to drive because if I'm at work or if I start working away, we want, and obviously Beth can still drive as well, and she's got a little run around, so that's good just for Barrow. But yeah, we wanted to sort of structure this episode of the podcast around sort of debt and being aware of it and not being scared to speak about it, just primarily because I've paid mine off and it's a case of it was hard. And I just think I've had countless people reach out to me saying sort of, thank you for putting it on there. And I've still got this amount. And I'm not going to mention names who it is because it's private, but they were messaging me saying, I've still got X amount. I don't know what to do. Can you help? And I'm just wanted to say, I'm not a financial advisor. I've been quite fortunate in my position, really, because I managed to chase money for a long time just to pay it off, which was at the detriment of my own mental health at basically a stage. And I'd chased for 10 years to try and get in a BA. And when I eventually got in there, it was the most miserable time in my life because I'm working just purely to pay off debt. And that's not how you should live your life. I mean, if you get
We've
it,
all been there and done that, haven't we? Me and you were quite close in the amounts. It's took a lot of years to pay off, and I was talking to my granddad about it and said, yeah, 28 grand, yeah, it's paid off and all this lot. And he went, yeah, could have paid off a third of a house by now in 2 years. When you look at it like that, you think if you go back in time, I'd just slap myself.
well, but I completely agree with him because I was paying off more on my loan than I was my mortgage.
Yeah, because then the thing it works is, say you're in, say 10 grand and you're on a 10% interest, you're paying £300 off a month. 100 quid of that's going to be your interest.
Pretty much.
So you're only paying £200 off your 10 grand, really.
The last payment whittled it down to it was £11 for the month interest, and that was it. Whereas my house, so I pay 350 a month mortgage, and the loan was 400. I'm paying two mortgages while still doing or paying all the other bills and all the other stuff. I don't even. I'll be honest. That especially with what's coming around the corner, like I say, what's happening now with the bill rise, and then apparently interest rates on mortgages are going to be going back up again, and all this stuff. I mean, I don't know what I would have done this time next year, and with a baby on the way, and with 2 cars, and with my missus losing 50% of her wage, and me contracting. It would have been a fucking shit
Oh,
show.
it'd have been scary.
But yeah, Jordan has said, I'll be going to the gym shortly as I haven't been this week due to a stomach bug, being in agony the past 5 days. Tried to go the other day, but my stomach's in tatters.
Put a nappy on.
But you also, if you were ill, your stomach is also shrinking as well. So you do feel that quite regular. You think that your stomach's gonna fall out. I know obviously it was a bug, but when you're on a diet, your stomach does sometimes.
Twists and turns. You don't know what's happened. It's like me when I dieted for 6 weeks and then I had a KFC. Like literally the first day after thinking, I'm gonna treat myself here.
It come out as water.
Yeah,
Probably,
for
yeah.
about the next 2 days because I'm not used to that amount of grease and everything like that. My stomach just went nope.
The thing is, though, Jordan, while you were ill, did you stick to you eating well, or did you just sack it off and go back to eating crap?
I bet you I didn't eat as much.
Or not at all.
Well, but even if he didn't eat as much, did he still have like a takeaway or crap food or whatever? But anyway, so what would your advice be? And not financial advisor advice because we're not. So obviously we need to be and as people know watching, we need to be careful what we say because there'll be people that will listen to this and think that we know what we're on about.
Everything we say here, we can't tell you to do. Basically, what we say, yeah, we done this and it worked. It worked for us because of the situation we were in. Not advice to yourselves, although it may help, it may not, it may make things worse. So if you are in debt and you want professional help, you can get free help from debt advice, citizens advice, and things like that.
Or your local bank, if you were banking
Yep.
with them, you can go and see if you're struggling to make payments. Make sure that it was make sure you do it properly, unless you're wanting to take the plunge yourself. But if you're wanting to know our or my personal opinion on it, and what I did that worked for me was I chased money in jobs. So, say for instance, if I was working at a takeaway, I was working at Santa Marina for on and off for, well, I'd say on and off. I mean, I solidly worked there for 6 years, but then I was on and off for 9 years. So I started when I was 14, and by the time I got to 18, 19, I was in probably about 29 grand's worth of debt. Stupid. I shouldn't have even been allowed to take that out. So I probably got a claim there if I wanted, but I just thought, no, it's my own fault, so I need to pay it. So what happened was I chased money. So what I'd do is I'd look for a job that was the most highest paid for my qualifications or my role that I was doing, which is why I took and actually I've got to give big shout out to Dale really because Dale told me to take my first job as a risk, which was as manager of the bloody sex shop. Which, even though it was retail and I was working in retail, I'd stepped up like 4 positions without even being a leader to straight to store manager out of a risk. Even though, I mean, I've got to thank the people that took me on as well because I'd had no management experience at that time on paper. No, my pay was nowhere. I think it was about £8 an hour or something back then, minimum wage, or 7.50 or 7.80 or whatever it was.
Back in the day.
And I'd basically jumped straight up 3 or 4 levels to go manage a shop, thinking, don't get me wrong, I know my mindset is I knew I could have done it because I know no one else could have really maybe have been as professional at it or whatever, but I chased money and I did that right up until, I'd probably say right up until I got into BAE the first time. Obviously, I'm not in there now. I'm subcontracting for a company that's working on BAE at the moment. But we're just playing tunes here, aren't we? You're jumping.
Thing is, like, I chased money massively.
Oh, God, yours was probably even worse than mine, to be honest.
I was working 100-hour weeks and all sorts,
Yeah, you were fucking killing yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
It was a shite.
No, I think
You
you
were.
were. I agree with Kia there. I think you were.
I was making a lot of money and I was
Yeah,
enjoying doing it.
You were making a lot of money.
But the hours aren't safe, are they?
That term comes into play there. It's like, if you want my time, you don't have the money. If you want the money, you don't have my time.
Yeah. But it worked for what I needed it. I was getting paid no less than 1,200 quid a week. Fair enough, I was doing like 90-hour weeks. But I enjoyed the work, which made it a little bit easier. It was good. It was good work, It was fun. As stupid as it sounds, working in quarries, mate, was a lot of fun. We could smoke anywhere. it was all constant. It was a good laugh with the lads. The lads that I worked with, like Dom and Joe and all that lot, they were all a really good laugh. They're all brilliant. It was a really good company to work for, really, for the lads. But it was like 12 days on, 2 days off. But you lost a day because we didn't get home till 1 in the morning on Saturday, and then we
Yeah.
were leaving again Monday morning at 3 in the morning.
You got a 1.5 day, really, didn't you?
Yeah, that's all we got.
I done that though when I worked for Tadzika Industrial in the yard on the shiplift as a labourer. 12 days on, 2 days off.
What were your hours?
I think it was like 6:30 till 5:30.
So neat, similar,
time.
very similar. I mean, I
When did you work there?
we were there for a bit.
It was before I went to
Was it-
McBride's.
Ah,
and then
right.
From McBride's, I went to MCOR.
Right. Well, me and you like sort of lost a couple of years with each other, didn't we?
Yeah.
We didn't really see or speak. 'Cause I deleted Facebook and everything for years, didn't I?
So, Jordan, I'm going to get episode 1 out for Wednesday due to not being able to go to the gym. I thought you're taking a break.
He just doesn't listen, does he?
You're not even listening to your own advice there, Mol. Well, anyway, up to you, mate. Do what you want. It's completely up to you. But
Well, I don't have to take a massive break and stop his videos. All I need to do is start sleeping more and just
yeah.
take less time, but more time for himself.
But the thing that happened to me with chasing the money, sorry guys, there's fluff all over the mic. The thing that happened to me chasing
Yeah,
money,
sounded like last night.
it was. Yeah, the thing that happened to me chasing money, honestly, was I got depressed. For those of you that are on Spotify, that's the wrong thing he meant to do. He pressed the wrong button. Fuck's sake. I'm taking a break, but I did say I was getting FC. All right, fair enough. But yeah, I got depressed chasing money, and I got it depressed to the point where I was just wasn't happy at all. As much, or even I was earning as much money as I'd ever earned before. It's just, it was just purely to pay the debt off. And now, don't get me wrong, there's always going to be that pressure because we're all still trapped inside the matrix,
Not for long.
which is basically you go to work, you pay your bills, and that's it. Whereas it's always going to be like that for certain people.
You work to live, basically. You know?
But see, I try not to do that now. I go to work, do my job, and go home. I
Yeah.
don't invest. I don't invest as when I say as much time. That's a lie. I'm always there, but I don't. I'm not as like hardcore where I'm like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. No, I go there, do my job, what I'm supposed to do, and go home.
See, that's one of the differences between me and you.
What?
Like my job,
It's
I
different. for you,
really
though.
enjoy my job.
See, there's a difference, though, isn't there?
But yeah, I've got a lot of freedom with my job as well.
But you're also working for someone you know and like, and as a mate. He's not just your boss.
He was my boss before my friend, though.
But I know, but say, no, that's not true.
Yeah, it is. The only time I ever spoke to Kieran was on the Xbox before I actually worked for him.
No, I know, but we'd all spot. So that's like, say, for instance, you's working for me or you working for me, say, right, and it's similar. You're going to enjoy it more as long as you do your job because you're with people you enjoy. You don't mind sort of when I'm going to phrase this like this, you don't mind so-called line in their pocket or your own because you're doing something for somebody that you like. He's present. You get to see him. You speak to him regularly. He's there. Whereas a company, when you work for a company, your line in the company and
You're just a number.
you meet a few people who are your line managers or the people below you or whatever. So it's different. I mean, when you're working for somebody, which I did, I worked for a family business for 9 years, like I said, at Santa Marina. I loved working for them because I knew them. They were great. Do you know what I mean? But also, as long as you do your job, everything stays the same. You can have a laugh. You can have a, oh my God, there was some nights in there I'd come out and my fucking face was hurting. We were laughing that much. Like my cheeks were on fire.
You just
laughing.
You said Santa Marina. I'm like, ooh.
Ooh, I had one last night. Ooh. But honestly,
I've only ever had one.
But honestly, it's, mate, we're working for somebody who you know and respect and like and all the rest of it, but then treat you also not just as an employee, as a person. Work isn't work.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I've learned now over time where I can separate the two so I can go, right, what am I supposed to do? Right, I'll attack it and I'll finish it and I'll do the best I can. But as soon as I clock off, I'm at home. There's occasions where you got to answer your phone. You're never truly off work when you're management. You're just not. There's never a day where you can't not do it unless you're on holiday or you don't answer it or whatever.
Even still, you'll get a fucking email.
Of course you will, but
I was doing emails yesterday morning off my work phone.
I know.
Congratulations, that's your job.
It's not though, because the weekend's my time. But
Yeah.
like Ben said, I'm still working.
No, the thing is, though, there's a difference. You won't do it out. You'll do it, though, because it's still sort of new, whereas I'll do it because I know on Monday it makes my job easier.
Yeah.
If
'Cause-
I get a phone call now saying we've had a call out, I'm gone
yeah,
because I'm technically always on call. That's my job. That's what we're here for.
Understandable. With like your line of work, do you know what I mean?
Kieran told me he did a call out himself, and I was like, "Oh, not with me to do it." He said, "No." He said, "I'd drive down to Plymouth, do a panel reset, and then drive home." He was like, "I wasn't sending you." It's a 12-hour round trip.
Fuck that.
I was like, "Fan fucking into me." My van wouldn't have made it.
it's Chamalade. Come on, son. Cheers for popping by the podcast, mate. If you are enjoying it, mate, make sure you like and share it with the boys. Help us out. But no, I mean, talking about, like I say, when you work for something, which is obviously going back to, which is what got me depressed because I didn't enjoy working for the place because the people there were assholes. I don't mind. I'm not going to mention names of departments, but you know the department I work for. It's the most horrible place I've ever worked in my life, and that's not to say that BAE is because I only worked in one part, right? I would go back there tomorrow in another job role if it suited me and everything ticked the box. I won't go back there now for money. Money is a concern, obviously, it always is, but it has to make sense for me now to go back. I wouldn't just go back for the money now. I'm not as interested.
I worked in two different like trades there, welding and caulking. Now I know which one I preferred, but I worked in very many different teams, and I know which team I'd go back. So when they rang me, offered me the job, etc., for X amount of money,
Yeah, yeah.
I said on one condition, I want to go on this team under this person.
Yep.
They literally turned around there and then and said, "That's already been asked and authorized." And
Yep.
I was like, "What do you mean?" They went, "The manager, we'll call him Timmy.
Yep.
Timmy already phoned them and said, I have got a heads up that you're bringing him back. I want him." And they went, "We can't guarantee that." And he went, "He won't come back then." And he
Uh,
was right. I wouldn't have gone back if I
No.
wasn't going on that team.
But the one thing that you need massive credit for is actually sort of sticking to your own principle with that because people seem to forget you hold all the cards. If they want you, you hold the cards. You can dictate to them whatever. They either accept it or they don't. But the way I see it is if you don't go in and ask, you're never going to get. So,
No.
when it says on there salary range, expectations, just put negotiable. Never put your figure
Yeah.
because you could go in and get more. I've done it before. It's happened with
Well,
other jobs.
you know how much they offered me.
Yeah, I know.
It was ridiculous.
But you could,
High.
you
Like,
could have gone negotiable and got even more maybe if you'd have gone
probably.
back on that team, say. But you'd have probably took less money to be on that team.
I'd have took what they offered me just to be on that team.
There you go. So, I mean, the team is just as important as everything else, and I think and that's what was bad for me because, and I'm not saying I'm at no fault here because every single person is responsible for a team's attitude. I don't care if it's yourself
Course it
or
is.
whatever. There was times I went in there and I wasn't the best to talk to because I hated being in there, which rubs off on people.
Yeah.
But because I have so many ideas and I had experience at the time of it, and they're doing stuff that's just like this is just backwards, and
Yeah.
you've got no say. You just like you say, you're just a cog. You have no say of what goes on, and
Yeah.
I fucking hate that.
Well, I can pretty much guarantee you now, if I went back, didn't go on that team, went on a team I used to be on, I'd have left that day.
Yeah, probably.
It's like that though. You say like a lot of
Forgot you were here.
a lot of companies like obviously being like stuff like that. They say voice your opinions. We want to hear what you've got to say.
But they don't want to hear it.
But then it's like you put it forward and you do like the ask you to do it slips.
Hey,
don't
Key,
you?
your sister's listening.
Which one?
Lauren.
I got unfair dismissed, mate. They didn't listen to me.
No,
They
that's
didn't
what I
listen to the
mean.
fact that I
They
had depression.
royally fucked you over.
They didn't listen that I had depression. They didn't give a shit that my granddad died. Didn't give a shit that I was fucking moving house at the time. They didn't give it and all this shit. They didn't care. They didn't care that I had to stay in a Premier Inn for 4 months. They did not care at all. I told the manager. It ended up going as, "Oh, well, your attendance is poor."
Even though you had COVID and they were sending you home.
I had COVID. They sent me home. They said, "Well, you're not getting paid for it." I went, "You've just sent me home." So I ended up getting like the manufacturing manager of the entire building to come down and witness it. And even he said, "You're getting fully paid for it. Go home. You have this was at the height of and literally just loads and loads of stuff." And then it turns out when I went to the union about it, they said, you are right. And I think you actually sent the letters or the emails. I think it says, excuse me, it says you are right, but basically they can choose not to follow the protocols unless you've been there bang on a year. They
Day
got rid
before.
of me day before I was there a year. And then they say it's not corrupt or anything in there.
Of course it is.
So I know that hall is so dark and dingy.
Yeah, I think. Wait there, just say that again, but speak closer. I don't know if.
I said that hall is so dark and dingy. It's weird.
Right, yeah, you need to put the mic right up to your tash, lad.
Yeah, bitch.
I don't know. It just sounds. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a cable.
I
Yeah.
think the cable, you need to get your mouth right next to it, Kia.
All right, sorry.
You being a spaz.
Is it talking like it is for me? And then it doesn't sound that great. But then when you talk like that, you can hear it right in your headphones. Yeah, and I'm talking like that. So yeah, it's all right.
All right, all right.
Just saying, lad. But anyway, it was bad, mate. And I'm with you, Josh. I'm very sort of now. When you get to a certain stage in your life, you can sometimes go in with a bit more confidence to interviews and jobs and say, "Well, no, look, this is what I bring, so
Yeah,
this is what I want." And then if they say no, you go, "Okay, fine," because I've still got a job. Don't get me wrong.
That's like my job now. I took a 12 grand pay rise to come here. I've already had sorry, pay drop, not pay
Pay cut,
rise. Yeah,
yeah.
I've had a 12 grand pay cut to come here. But I knew what's in the distance. I've already had pay rises.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's you looking at the bigger picture. It's not looking.
Some people fail to look at the bigger
You're not
picture,
looking
and
at
that's
now.
the problem.
You're
But
looking
you're
now.
also this is good though, because that goes into what I was saying for me chasing money. I wasn't in a position where I could do that because I needed the money now.
Yeah,
Because otherwise I'd have been paying it till I was 40.
yeah.
So for you, you'd already sort of paid yours off.
Mm.
So you had the luxury of, you didn't have a house yet at the time. Obviously, you weren't living on your own. Your outgoings were very minimal.
Yeah,
So you can afford to do that. So the position you're in is actually good for what you've decided to do.
yeah,
Because when you get to that next step of you're fully qualified or whatever, and then next thing you know, you're on an engineer's wage or whatever, you go, right, well, now I can afford all this. And I've also stepped up. So it was worth that 1 to 2
Yeah.
to 3 year sacrifice. Whereas, say, for instance, you at the moment, if you were to try and take a pay drop now, you'd struggle.
Oh, massively.
Uh,
It's massive. I don't know.
Depends on the pay drop, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, £1,000 a month you'd struggle.
Yeah.
Pay drop, which is what you took, 12 grand loss.
yeah.
So it's £1,000 a month. I mean,
I mean, it's like when I
How much are all your bills in that flat?
I won't know until this.
Oh,
week.
right,
he won't
right,
know
right,
yet,
right.
will he? Mine
Yeah.
all in were 12, 30. They were 1,300, yeah. I can't even believe you remembered that and I didn't.
Are you on about like just the flat itself?
No, like
Everything.
everything.
Council
everything
tax,
included.
gas, electric. I know
Have
that
you sorted all
there's
that
no
out?
gas, but
So I've sorted the electric out. The landlord's told the
tapped into
council.
the neighbours.
yeah, man. Shabba.
Landlord's told the council. So he's told me he came on yesterday when I went to cooker change that I should receive a letter off the council.
Yeah, you need to fill that in and then send it them back, and
Yeah.
then because
Yeah.
if you leave that, you'll end up in debt with the council, and they do not mess around, mate.
No, dirty hell. I
So
mean,
If they owe you money, they dodge you. But
oh,
if you owe them money, there's some
well,
bailiffs.
you've got to ring them up, mate, and then go, well, I paid council tax solid for 12 months and you're only supposed to pay 10. I think you owe me 300 quid. Oh, yeah, we do, Mr. Coleman. Thanks for bringing that to our attention.
Bye.
You click. They're like, oh,
Mic drop.
but you missed a payment. Oh, we're going to have to put you on either a payment plan or we need it up front and then you need to pay next month's as well. Cunts. Mate,
No, but yeah,
They do that, but they won't fix any of the potholes. They won't get rid of any of the graffiti. They won't kill all the
that's a
pigeons.
whole other topic, mate. We could go for days on.
But yeah, I'm just waiting off obviously to get this letter off the council, see what my council tax is going to be.
I wouldn't even wait for them, mate. I'd be ringing them.
Yeah, I would as well.
I'm going to ring them.
Don't act like you were gonna do it.
Proactive.
I was actually going to do it this week.
No, you weren't. You were.
You can't even pick up a FaceTime. Shut up.
Yeah, you're not going to ring him because you're busy going. Mop, 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 mop.
Fucking dosser. That's just him eating watermelon.
Oh, we could do an ASMR. Oh, it needed to be. Green one, isn't it? Yeah. For those on Spotify can hear that. Facebook are like, what the fuck are they doing?
That
No,
was a facial expression when he only lasted
No.
14 seconds.
but if you could,
15 actually.
if you could be honest with yourself now, how much of a pay drop do you think you could take realistically. Get judging that your bills are going to be, because your bills are in a flat are going to be about £1,000 a month. There's no way you're paying more than a house.
Roughly about that, yeah. Obviously, I've gone cheap as I can with that internet and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's absolute zero way in hell that you're paying more in a flat than you
Than you
will
were
in
in
a
a
house,
Yeah.
because there's more than the house to heat. So, say for instance it's £1,000, right? How much do you say a year or a month you could drop and still pay it?
How much would you need a month after tax to live off if you were paying £1,000 out?
And you spare.
That's what I mean. How much money extra would you need?
Probably about 500 quid.
So you
Yeah,
need
so-
125 quid a week.
Yeah.
You can live off.
So you could take you take a, like I say, you could live on 1,500 quid a month then.
Yeah. Obviously, with what
You'd have to.
with what I'm on now, that's just extra.
That's not bad really, is it? I mean, that's most jobs around here.
That's what I was getting before I changed jobs. I think my flat back then was 16 and a half.
What? Your flat?
My flat rate back.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. I thought you
oh,
meant your flat as in
So
that
you
your
lived in a
flat was
house?
Oh, my flat rate. in my
Used to.
previous job role.
She took the house. She took the kid. I'm the fucking dog.
like- Oh,
No, I had to sell him.
Did you?
I couldn't keep him in his flat. They don't allow pets.
so why do they let you?
Arsehole.
Why do they let you live in there? Because you're a dog, bitch. No, it's mate. I mean, I don't even know how much I could take pay cut because there's two incomes coming in. But I mean, now,
We're about to take one of them 50%.
well, technically we could take all of it because Beth doesn't need to. In an ideal world, I think our bills are probably going to sit around 1,100, maybe 1,200, if I'm being honest. Because obviously now I've got a car, she's got a car. Yeah, I'd probably say around about that. Obviously, that's not including the spike of stuff that's going to go up, like electric. We don't know yet. No one knows. We don't know how much it's going to cost. We don't know how much it's going to impact. We don't know how much by April next year our fixed rate runs out on the mortgage. So-
Remortgaging.
Well, you do every time anyway.
Yeah.
So we remortgaged last year. It's obviously paid the same, but it was just on another 2-year fixed rate. Whereas apparently now, I don't think they're going to let you do fixed rate because the variable rates have gone up, because of the spike.
Yeah.
All the rates back up to like 8%, whereas I'm paying 3.1 or 2.9 now. So we don't know, mate. I mean, in an ideal world, Beth doesn't really have to work if I'm working because
Yeah, but Beth's one of them, though, isn't she?
Oh, she will.
She won't just stay at home.
I had a telephone interview. I can't remember if I told you. I had a telephone interview on Thursday. How was it? I think
Wednesday night.
it was Wednesday night. I had a telephone interview for a logistics category manager. I'm not going to say the company, but it was working from home, and you go to Spain once a month.
It's a week. What? Fucking hell, sign me up.
You go to Spain once a month, right? But it's working in the UK.
Spain.
Do you speak Spanish?
No,
Hola, me llamo Josh. ¿Cómo te llamas?
no, you just sound like Rafa Nadal, mate, when he's playing tennis. No, but I had a telephone interview, and they told me the salary, and I hit the deck. Right,
Did your ass fall out?
that was a kid in me, right? But then when I sat back and thought about it, do you want to know what the best part about it was? She went, "Would you be happy with that?" I went,
No.
"Are you on crack?" I went, "I'd take like 20 grand less, 30, 40 grand less. I could take."
No, you wouldn't. You fucking
No,
idiot.
I'm not going to. But in my head, I'm thinking I could take 50 grand less, and I'm still earning more than I am now. It was 95,000 a year.
Why don't you take it then?
No, it was a telephone interview. I've not.
Yeah, so have they offered you it yet?
Well, no, because it was a telephone interview.
Yeah, so when they offering you it?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's second stage. I don't know if I need to go and do a presentation. I don't know.
Fucking final.
But yeah, £95,000 a year.
Where was this?
I'm not telling you where it is. I'm not jinxing anything out. I'll say what it was. As in,
Apply.
and I went, all right. And then he went, yeah, there's a separate car package as well for 10,000 a year. What the hell am I going to spend £10,000 a year on the car? I'll go and get a Rangy. I'll go and get a Rangy on finance through the company and get it. And I was like, what on earth?
I wonder if they ship that to Spain with you.
But then I'm sat there. Well, obviously, it's the same as when you think or talk about you're going to win the lottery. Do you know what I mean? I spoke to Beth about it, and I just said, obviously, if I got it, I'd have to sacrifice some time. But I said, you don't need to work anymore if I got it.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, I'm working. And I was like, That's fine.
That'd just be fucking
But no,
pocket
no,
change.
I was like, but it wasn't even about the money. It was just that talking. Like for me, my dream is, it always has been, is to retire my parents. And doing that is not going to do that straight away,
I
right?
think your dad retired your dad.
I know he did, but I mean, fully retiring where he can go and
Yeah.
fuck off and he doesn't need to work anymore, right? Same as my mum. But if I can retire Beth, as in when I say that, I mean where she doesn't have to work and she can solely focus on giving our child the best upbringing and, you know, around the people, bringing him to the family, not just putting him in care because we've got to, like every other parent. And the childcare costs like 400, £500 a month anyway. So she's got to work part time for nothing.
£78 a week, and that's for 2 days at nursery.
When Harrison was in nursery, it was £4.40 an hour.
Well, it works out £40 a day or £30 a day, doesn't it? If you do it every day. If she
Yeah.
if she went back to work full time and I did, you're talking £30 a day. So you're talking £150 a week. You're talking £600 a month.
It's
You're talking fucking hell. You're talking £7,200 a year,
it is a lot when you think about it.
and that's her part time. That's pretty much her part time wage, or a third of her wage, or whatever it would work out. I couldn't even tell you if she went back full time. So if she's on part time, it's all of her wage. What's the point?
Yeah.
I know it's great for him because he interact with other kids and other people.
Yeah.
And that's great.
It's not, it's not great for your bank account, though.
But it wouldn't even be about that.
It
do you
doesn't
know what I
make a
mean?
difference to the bank account.
It's best time. Like, it all comes back
yeah.
to time for me. I'm not interested in the money side of it, really. Obviously, it's great to earn more money, but I'm interested in the time. Like, would it be worth her time going back to work part time, putting herself through the stress, not seeing the baby, putting him in and backwards
Probably
and
not.
forwards? No, it isn't. It's not. It's worth the money value because I think it's good for him growing up. But the time aspect, it isn't. You lose so much time. You're losing all day with him, and you bring him home, change him, and put him to bed.
Yeah.
What's the point? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it's just me.
But
that
from
thinks
Beth's
like that,
point, she's not stuck in the house all day doing the same thing every day, so she gets a bit of normality going to work.
which I agree with. But then the money does come into it, and you factor it, and you think, I know it's great, but you're technically working for nothing.
No, she's working for sanity.
No, I know that, but I'd sooner start up a business or something where she can work from home
Beth Burns.
and do both. Well, she did that, but there's too many people that do it now, so it's pointless. It's a bit saturated now where everyone did it. When everyone did Body Shop,
Yeah.
it's saturated. Then everyone does their own Scentsy and wax melts. It's saturated now unless you're really big round here. Who was the biggest one round here? Is that Charlotte Millis one it at one point? CM Fragrance or CM Wax Melt or something. She had a market stall, didn't she?
I don't know. My mum does really well off it.
Yeah, she had a warehouse at
does
one
my mum
point,
as well, to be
and
fair.
she shut it down now because I can't remember. Something happened. I'd only just recently heard about it because I thought she was still going. But I mean, she started up her own wax melt. She was doing really, really well. But the second someone does really well, everyone else jumps on it
Yeah.
if it's fairly easy
And
to
take their
start.
mates with them buy theirs instead.
Yeah, of course you do, which happens in everything. But if you're creating something that's easily attainable for everybody else,
Look at Chloe Walsh. She's doing mentally good.
but no one else can do that because it's
No,
a high entry
yeah.
point. To get into that, you need thousands to start with.
Her network at the moment, crazy.
She's doing really well.
I love it. I love seeing it do. I love seeing people do well. I really do. Like, but she'll now have money worries. Other people that do well have probably bigger money worries because they've got more outgoings.
Staff, building costs, vehicles.
So, do you think with debt and getting into it and learning it at such as sort of like a smaller scale is going to make it easier for when it goes larger scale for business? Do you think it's going to make us more aware in the future or whatever? And that's for all of us. Say, for instance, if you were to set something up, do you think having monetary awareness, like as in about your money and where it goes, what you do with it, how you get in debt, how to get out of it, do you think knowing that is going to help in business?
Yeah, because you need to know where your money's going and where it's coming from and what is going on. Do you know what I mean?
The only difference with the business is you get professional advisors and
Yeah.
things in like, what the fuck are they called? What's it called?
Financial advisor,
Yeah, but there's a guy that sorts all your money out.
accountant.
Yeah, you get like accountants and everything, so you're not alone in that aspect.
Yeah,
You
know,
can't run a company without having someone as an accountant because you need someone that knows what they're doing, they're qualified to do it, they've studied for it.
well, I've got one now.
Yeah, I know. Does it
'Cause
make your life easier? She's got you a tax rebate.
Yeah, well,
Point improving.
and that was only 2 months. That was only for 2 months' work.
Yeah.
And I
Imagine
mean,
when you do a 12-month one.
which is coming up this April,
Yeah,
so it might be like 3 or 4 or 5 grand rebate.
exactly my point. So you don't
for
have to.
200 quid.
She sorts all your debts out.
Go check it
practically.
out. People from Barrow, Clark and Jeffries, go and check her out. Quick plug there for free. She did help me out.
But the 10% off in April.
I've not even looked into like tax rebates or that, 'cause I don't even know if it'd be due one.
The thing is,
You won't be.
you won't be because you're PAYE.
Sometimes you can.
If you overpaid on your tax, like they've messed up when you started work or they've missed a month or two.
You just
something.
check once a year.
I have been like a couple of months back. I was, but my tax bracket, my tax number was different.
It will have been because you got a new job.
Yeah, because you got
Oh,
a new
oh.
because you got a new salary range and your
No,
age.
it was before that. It was before I switched roles.
So I think mine's 1185 or 1290
65L.
1285L. I think it is.
Mine's 1275.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I know.
And I think it is anyway. But well, that's what it was. Obviously now I'm sole trader under the CIS building scheme, so I just pay a flat 20%, and that's it. I don't pay national insurance, don't pay anything else. So it's not too bad. But the accountant basically helps with that because she then goes, right, well, you as a sole trader, you can claim back all your stuff.
My tax code C1216LW1M1.
That's not right. That isn't right. You need to go and get that sorted.
It means I can earn just over 12 grand before I get taxed.
No, it should be. It's not CI12. It's
Yeah,
not
I was
that.
thinking that.
You need to go and get that looked at because it's
Oh.
definitely not that.
Oh, mate, I'm all G's.
You might. The thing is, though, you might be if you've been on the wrong tax code for 4 or 5 years. You might be.
I'll get it all back eventually.
But I'm under the CIS building scheme, so you just pay a flat 20%, and your classed as working for yourself. So for me, an accountant is the best because she sorts out all the rebates. She goes into gets your UTR number, goes into your account, obviously saves and sets everything up. It was great. To be fair, she was great. All I had to do was send her my wage. Same as with now, she's made me a spreadsheet. Just keep following that. Just put in every week what you get paid, what it is your gross, what it is your net, how much you pay towards CIS, and what are the deductions, and put them in. And it's as simple as that. And then I do that, and I'll send her that at the end of the year, and she'll get the tax bait. And within 5 days, it'll be in my account.
Right, perfect. Right, enough about fucking money. How's the gym going? Now that we're all there. Kia, stop texting your bird.
Checking my pace.
Fuck off. Not big enough to want to check.
I was wanting to check my tax code. My pay slip's all right. I'll have you.
How's the gym going?
All right.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for the input. Yeah, great.
Yeah, nice one. Ben, how's the gym going, mate?
Great.
Oh, sweet.
No, it's good, mate. I feel it's good. Like I say, I've been speaking to Beth about it. She's saying obviously how's it going? How do you feel? I went, in general, I feel better. I'm waking up earlier. I don't need as much sleep.
So, following off that, do you think it helps your mental health?
Yeah. It's the cure to it. What Tyson Fury said years ago is a cure, and it is that, and it's as simple as that. How many people do you know that actually go to the gym and are actively exercising or doing something like that are actually depressed?
Yeah. Just to answer Sydney, we all three of us go to Transform Physique next
Massive
week.
shout out to Steve, one of our sponsors at Transformer 6 Gym. Go check him out. 24 hour, right across from the fire station, Park Road, I think.
He's still doing free passes. Day
Next door, Stagecoach as well.
Sydney, come to the JBK podcast if you want us to plug out. We're class at it. No, yeah,
Sydney's hell of a baker. She always makes cakes and stuff. I
know,
always buy them.
I've seen it. I don't know if it. I'd messaged her about.
I don't think she's done them lately.
I think I messaged her. Was it her about a cake? I can't remember if it was yourself. I'm looking to start one, but I'm so
With us.
I'm so scared. Right now, I think I'm probably the best person to answer this.
Yeah, how long did it take you to sign up? It was
What
just
is it?
next Friday.
Just from myself or in general. So there was a few, no excuses, but there was a few money problems that we'd had.
No,
for the
no.
car.
You told me that you were a bit.
Oh yeah.
You were a bit upsy daisy
No.
to go, didn't you?
At the start, I wasn't, and then I got a car, and then we started paying her dad for the car. That obviously, I'd paid the car. I'd got my insurance. I was like, shit, money's getting a bit tight again. Right, crap, I'll wait. Then when it got to like Thursday, I was a bit like, oh shit, I'm fucking scared now. I don't really want to go home. Anyway, I joined and I just thought, fuck it, and I just went, and it's great. And now I'm same as I used to be. Go on my own. Don't need any motivation to go. I listen purely to my body. I don't go and I don't care what anyone else is doing. Used to could go now and say, "Oh, I'm resting today. If I feel okay, I'm going." But yous might go, "Well, we're going today." No, I'm not going. I'm resting today. My body's aching. Like I said to you yesterday, I was aching really, really bad yesterday, and I thought, "I'm resting today." And he went, "Okay."
My rest day is a Friday.
See, I don't do specific days now. Because for me, well, what works for me, I'll go off. I'll listen to my body. If my body's really, you know, like when we're sore, when we went, it's fine. A little bit of soreness is normal.
Yeah.
But when you're really sore and like you can't even tilt your head and you've overdone it a bit, I'm like, right, well, I'll rest then.
My body can stop being a little bitch. We've got work to do.
No, that's such a bad attitude to have. Really.
Is it fucking rip a bicep?
Yeah, until you injure yourself. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've got, obviously, you two know, I've got a personal trainer, all on a diet plan, everything now. So he he won't let me do it to the point where I won't be able to come into the gym tomorrow. It's going to be quite steady. He knows what my goals are. He really likes my goals. He's something he can sort of appreciate, and he's really looking forward to it. So am I. We actually start. Well, technically we started yesterday actually, but we officially
start tomorrow.
start tomorrow. We're just doing the like sort of pre-works, getting the one the one rep max I can do on certain exercises, and start working from 70% of that. Work our way up. When we get there, do another one rep max at a higher weight, and then we work toward go back down to 70%, go back up. Got a lot of fitness. Going down Industry 13 on Rouge Road, doing circuits at 5:30 in the morning, Tuesday, Thursday, and 7:30 in the morning, Saturday. Get that fitness and cardio, get my lungs back open, and that get me ready for rugby season.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't. With you working away a lot, you're not even going to be able to train.
No, not in them early circuits, but I'll still be able to do the
Yeah.
Saturday ones.
Yeah, I mean, it's each to their own, isn't it? And look, so the fear. I don't know if Sydney, if it was the same for you, or if it is the same for you, what it was for me. My fear wasn't actually once I'm in there.
It's getting there.
It's getting there was always my thing because my brain would try and talk me out of it because I know straight away that as soon as I walk in there, I'm back to myself again. Like I know what I'm doing.
Well,
And,
sorry.
go on, no, go on.
Sydney, if you want to come and train in there with one of us or all of us or whoever, they do offer us basically a couple of free day passes for people that want to try out. So if you want to attend one of the sessions with me, Ben, Kia, or when we all go, or just let us know. Either private message one of us, private message me, or Ben, or Kia, or the JBK podcast, and we'll get you booked in to go, and we'll just meet you there, and you can just see if you like the gym or not in general.
Well, now I'm back in there. Mine's more people. I get really self-conscious and I don't know how to work the machine. But that's fine.
We can show you. I
Yeah.
will happily take you down there one of the days, even if it's just me and you, or me, you and Ben, and we'll just show you. You can ask us questions. Yeah, this machine does this, this, and this. Even though they all have plaques on them as well, don't they, in our gym?
They've all got to show you how
Yeah.
to do it.
And they
So,
explain what muscles they do and how to do it properly.
but the environment as well isn't like that. It's a very good environment up there. Like everyone's really, really happy to sort of be there. I know obviously it's a gym and some people aren't, but in general, I've only ever found and spoke to people that want to try and help people. I mean, Jordan went in there on his own, didn't he, one of the weeks, and one of the lads was just helping him go around all the equipment.
Sam,
Yeah,
we were deadlifting, weren't we? And he was like, "You lads, you need to alter your form a little bit.
yeah,
You're going to hurt yourself."
straight
Oh,
away.
perfect. Didn't even ask.
No,
So he seen we were doing it wrong, and he
Yeah.
voluntary came over and helped us.
it's a good environment there.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's very sort of on you as well. So it's not as if it's weird. I can't describe it because it's not like because it's a bit small there and a bit enclosed. It almost brings like people together, but it doesn't at the same time. So like DW, I'd feel more conscious walking in there than I would do walking in Transform.
There's just fucking mirrors everywhere, and you've got your lift in DW. It's like separate. You've got your cardio people on the right, your weights people on the left, and they're just arrogant. If you go and you just get stared at as you walk into the weights bit, like you're not big enough to come in this side, or
Yeah.
you're too fat to go on the cardio side, and it's like fuck off.
It sounds bad the way I'm going to phrase, but if anything, I know within yourself, but you've got nothing to be self-conscious about.
No, she hasn't at all.
I'm not being funny. It's not as if you're fucking fat or overweight. It's not as if you're fucking 4 foot tall or 10 foot tall. You're just a normal person like everybody else. And I mean, don't get me wrong. If anything, and I don't think he'll mind me saying it, Mole should have had more self-consciousness about him when he went. which he probably did.
He did, but it's because the environment's so relaxed and everyone's so friendly.
Yeah.
You just fit in. Everyone's got their own vibes in there. No one gives a shit who's in there or
No.
what they're doing.
Everyone knows you're there for a purpose, and that's and that's it.
I mean, I've still not gone on my own yet because I think it's just me, like within myself.
But it's also, I know the reason why you won't go on yourself yet, and I don't think, once again, your mind saying is because your form will need to be altered on certain things because your left arm sometimes is just out of habit, won't do what you want it to do. So,
Slowly getting there though, aren't you?
yeah, of course, it's just
But even if you don't want to lift weights, if you get there on your own, just do a bit of cardio.
just get in amongst
Blow out
it.
my
Yeah?
ass after 5 minutes.
Doesn't matter, mate.
walk.
That's why you do cardio, mate. It's
Just
one of
walk.
them.
Just walk. That's what I used to do. I'd go in there. If I was feeling really self-conscious on a day, but I'd drag myself there, not now, as in this was years ago as well, even when I wasn't as big as I am now. I'd walk in there. If I felt self-conscious, I'd do 20 minutes warm. I'd do 20-minute walking on the machine just to get comfortable in the environment, see everybody around, then I can see what everyone's doing. Then I'd just go over to the weights and do what I knew I could do. And that was it. And it's just a case of blocking out everybody else. Yes, Rich La. Welcome back to this episode of the JBK podcast. How are you doing? Sweet.
What a dickhead.
How do you know if you're even working your muscles correctly? Again, a benefit because you saw you follow the machine. So the machines have like a tell me guide and a show me tell me guide. It says there's a picture of a guy that's doing that or whatever, and it tells you like arrows up, 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 or down, 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 down.
Obviously, the muscle it's working, the muscle's highlighted on the diagram anyway.
So worst case scenario, if you wanted to do it as a block, like say for instance, if you wanted to do, or if you want to tone up or gain a bit more muscle or whatever, and you do it as a block, like some people do, or some people now do push pull, you go in there and do all the motions that you can push on, which is obviously your chest and everything you do. You could be your legs as well. You could push with your legs, you could push with your chest, your shoulders, shoulder press, everything. Or it's pull, where then you do your lat pull downs, you're doing you're doing body yeah. The ropes with the triceps pull, you're pulling down, just anything. But for ultimately it varies. There's loads of YouTube videos and loads of the stuff that you can check if you wanted to.
If you want to see what if you follow Just Moll on YouTube, he's doing a weight loss journey at the moment, and all his videos are actually in our gym. So if you ever want to just like watch one of his videos, he actually explains what the machine he's on does. So that could be a bit of information for you. But like I said, if you want to just go down for the day, you can come down with us.
Another thing I've told him as well, he needs to skip through that 20-minute crap to start with.
Fucking don't go.
Another thing is, I told him and he was like, yeah, you know what, you've got a point. Because for me, I flick through it, I skip the first 20 minutes and I'm like, I might have missed some stuff that he'd said.
Yeah.
So he's like, welcome to this week's episode of the weight loss journey. And
here we are at the gym.
And then I'm like, right, when you go at the gym then? And then I'll skip, and you'll show him in the car. Sometimes I'm like, no, skip past all that. It's not a vlog. Skip, right to the workout part. But there's loads of stuff there, Sid. There's loads of stuff there. You can do PTs there. There's loads of people there that can help. There's people, obviously, like say, I think she knows you quite well, doesn't
Yeah,
she?
I'm
So,
Sydney really
so, and there's us. You can come down or do whatever you want to do, even if it's just a watch or whatever, just to get, in that environment again. There's no need to sort of feel as though you don't want to do it just because you don't know. But it's the same as with everything you do. You start off not knowing anything, and every single week, day, month, year, whatever, you get progressively better at it. And then next thing you know, you're going in there and you can do it with your eyes closed.
Most people would have been embarrassed with what I was doing yesterday because I was squatting an empty bar.
Doesn't matter.
Because I was just working on, because I haven't squatted for years.
It's form.
Yeah, I needed to get the form right before I put any weight on, or else I'd hurt myself. In the end, I squatted 100, like we worked up from 10 kilo. I just literally started at the bar, then 10, 20, 30, all the way up to 100, and my 1 rep max was 100 kilos.
That's what I've been saying to you at the gym, of what Josh has just said. Doesn't matter the weight you lift.
No.
You still feel it.
Doesn't matter the weight you lift.
Form's got to be right.
If you're not doing it right, you won't feel it. How much is it per month, and is it contract only, or can you cancel any time?
£36 a month.
If you download an app called, what was it called?
I don't know, I still haven't downloaded it.
Summit Right, it's called.
Follow them on Instagram, Sydney. All the details are in the bio with the link, but it's £36 a month. You get a fob, so you can go 24 hours a day, every day.
Club Right.
It's not 36 quid a month. There's different packages. obviously do.
But if you want the 24-hour, I think it's just
Sydney
fl-
works at BAE, so chances are she'll have to have the off-peak membership because
Yeah, well,
she'll
Yeah.
be in work.
£35.99 a month. It's active, and you can basically sign up, and it looks sort of like that. I know it's not really close to you, but it's called Club Right, and once you sign up, it's basically there. But I think you've signed up for, I think it's a year at a time. I've got to be honest. I don't think it's like a monthly thing where you can just cancel at any point.
I
Can
think
you?
I think you can.
I think I thought is what you signed into 12 payments.
I don't know. I've not looked into it.
I think you can get a monthly, but I think it's DRA, where you're not in a contract.
Yeah, it's 40 quid.
I think so. Well, just think about it from the business standpoint. Sorry, lads, which gym are you on about, and where is it, please? Go on, Josh, take it away.
Transform Physiques, mate. So if you're on Park Road, opposite the fire station, next door to Stagecoach, in the corner, it's Steve Bell's gym and Steve Bell and Brady's gym. Transform. If you're driving up Park Road, as if you're going to go past the fire station on your left, if you look right through the gap, you can see a poster that points you in the right way. All you do is you basically turn right in there, turn right again, and there it is, right in front of you. You can't miss it. It's brilliant gym, really, really good equipment. Free weights are always good. It's very, very clean. It's never ever dirty.
Actually, it just says rolling contract.
Yeah, I'm sure it's monthly.
It does say rolling contract, but when you sign up, it does do a 12-month progression, like a
Mine
look
didn't.
a look ahead. Mine says a 12-month
didn't.
look ahead. So when I went on this, mine
Yeah, it tells you your payment's going to be the first of the month for this
Yeah.
much, this much. But I think if you cancel it, I think you're done. That's it. You don't have to go. You
right.
just don't go anymore.
Then obviously they do like a weekly pack as well, which is like 15 quid.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you'd never pay a weekly.
Yeah,
pack.
no worries, Sydney. Like I said, anything that you need to know on it, like I say, reach out to one of us or message the page on Facebook, and then one of us will get back to you because we all have access to the page. So, like I say, anything that you need, just go and give us a message, or like I say, or privately if you wanted to keep it just between one person. But yeah, absolutely no problem at all. I'm very sort of I can't get over how sort of good the environment is there. I've got to be honest.
Yeah,
It's brilliant.
compared to any gyms that I've been to in the past.
Even the
that's
three lads that
successful.
work there, Steve, Luke,
I
I
don't
never
even know. I
remember the
don't
little
even know
lad's
the
name.
other two.
Um,
Another thing is, I don't even think they work there. I honestly don't think anyone works there. I think Steve's just opened up the warehouse and put a key on it and like,
No,
all
but-
right, there you go.
well, Luke's Luke does his part. He helps, sits behind the counter, helps people. Programs. I thought if Steve's not there, Luke will help.
Yeah,
Do their parts. But if I'm stood there and what was it? I was on hack squat machine, right? Never used one in my life. I dread using it every time I go when I've got to use it because it's so awkward. But I went up to Luke and said, "What's the hack squat?" He went, "What are you on about? What's a hack squat machine?" He went, "I think I know what you're on about." He calls it V squat. So it's a machine. He said, "Yeah." I said, "How do I use this, mate?" He went, "Show you. Put it on, blah blah blah." Put it on. So I put a bit of weight on. He went, "Nope, take it off." He went, "Do it without it first because this is a difficult machine on its own. Never mind with weight." He said, "You're gonna have to get your stance proper,
so
your
far.
form done." So and he stayed there for about 25 minutes helping me. Wasn't I needed help. He gave me help. He wasn't bothered. He was very professional. It was brilliant. It was straightforward. Didn't mess around whatsoever. It was class.
No, a lot of other gyms, if you ask for help, they'd show you one. Just wouldn't hang around. They'd show you.
5 quid an hour, lad.
They'd show you, and they'd be like, there you go, see in a bit.
That's what they'd say. My rate's £25
Yeah.
an hour for coaching or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I say, I'm impressed with it. It's just the only bad thing. It's a bit out the way. Not for me, it isn't because I'm up there anyway.
Yeah.
But in general, I mean everything else of it. You can't. I like the laid back atmosphere that there's not someone just purely on the desk just staring at everybody like
Yeah.
that. I don't like that. Like at DW or Everlast or whatever it's called. You go in there, it's absolutely enormous anyway, but they tie you into a year. So you sign up and then you've got to pay a year. So you can't cancel it with your bank because they'll still ring you up and charge you.
Yeah.
It's a fucking nightmare.
It's like the gym. That's like very similar to Everlast, like the layout and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just a lot.
The shittest gym I've ever been in my fucking life.
It's more for CrossFit that.
Industries for CrossFit, lad.
No, industry is purely like it's all Olympic lifting and
Yeah.
body lifting, and whereas the gym group is purely for like, how do I say? It's more for a specific type of
It's a
person.
cardio gym.
Yeah, which
Right, lads, we're coming up on an hour. So
Oh, that was a good combo, lads. Just right at the end there. It was a good
Kia.
combo.
Take us out, mate.
Don't forget, it goes on Spotify.
Right, so big thanks to our sponsors, Lakeside Fire and Security, Transform Physiques Gym, Northwest Plumbing and Heating, and TNT Records. Us here at the JBK podcast would like to thank you all for coming in and watching, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Spotify. So yeah.
Also, thanks to the Knights, the house of the podcast.
You did everything so good. It did everything so good.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, this week we have had the full trio in, which is me, self, Josh Archer. I've got Benjamin
Me,
Foreman
no.
to my left and Kia McCarter to the far left. And we will see you next week, guys. Peace out.